Alright, hello everyone, this is the Deputation, also known as Hyde Siebel. It has been a very long time since I've made any kind of video, and today is Christmas, December 25th, 2014. I'd like to just say Merry Christmas to everyone. I love Christmas, it's my favorite time of the year. It's depressing to think that it is all over tonight for another 364 days. But, as always, got some good stuff for Christmas, and it's been a long time since you guys have even seen the layout, and I'm sure it looks quite a bit different from when you guys remember it. Unless you guys have been snooping around on my Facebook page or Tyco forums or whatnot. But I'll be going over a lot of the stuff, meaning layout-wise, ton of new engines and rolling stock-wise, project-wise. I will make sure I go over it all. But yeah, today is Christmas, so I'll mainly be just going over first the Christmas stuff. This was the main gift. Alright, here we go. So this is the main gift. The River Rossi, mainly Hornby issue, Granite Rock 10. Granite Rock 10 is like many of the other USATC 06OTs and S100 series. I prefer to call it the 5000 series because they were numbered in the 5000s. Granite Rock 10 has notably been at the California Distillery Museum and ran for a number of years there. Right now it's currently undergoing another restoration and will be back within about a year or two. I saw this is the exact same engine I saw when I went up north back in April at a place in Roseville called Railroad Hobbies. I live in California, just for the new guys who do not know. And this was a great store. My buddy Hunter worked at it for a long time. Train Boy 94, Hunter Los. Shout out to him because he's actually the main reason I got this thing. I went up there and I saw this thing and I knew Hornby just issued them. And at first I wanted the U.S. Army lettered version because I figured Granite Rock 10 would be pretty popular amongst many people. I didn't really want to. I'm not really a fan of having something that everyone else has. But then when the Army version sold, I just went at the place Hunter told me. I goes, alright, I'll just stick with the Granite Rock 10. And it's been months now. Obviously that was way back in April. They still had it. And so when it came about 2 weeks ago, bought it. Bought a couple detail parts from Railroad Hobbies, and it is here. And it is honestly my favorite 06OT. I've got a close second, but this is definitely my favorite. All around detail is just fantastic. I really love this locomotive. Just giving you a nice little overview here. It runs amazing as well, and I just can't even say much more about that. I just absolutely love it. And I will show it running later on. This stuff I did not get for Christmas, but I bought it within the span of about 2 weeks. So I guess you can say they're kind of Christmas presents. This is a nice old blue box SP boxcar I bought from the Roundhouse train store I always go to, along with this ATSF bay and window kit, which I built. Got those both yesterday. This was $8. This was like $7. Pretty good deal. They're both new in the box. A week before that at Roundhouse, I went and bought this Western Pacific new Roundhouse caboose. This thing is freaking sweet. Very nice. Also, I was down in the valley about 3 times in the last 2 weeks. Went to another train store down there and bought a Roundhouse 460 kit, which I've been assembling for about the past 2 days. Right now I swapped out its wobbly original brass Roundhouse drive wheels for some more modern Athearn Roundhouse drive wheels. Same size, a little bit different in terms of conductivity. They're a lot better. Brass has more pulling power, but you get better conductivity with nickel silver. Because when I assembled this thing the first time, it ran like a typical Roundhouse engine, very wobbly, slipped a little bit. So I figured, you know what, I got these Athearn Roundhouse drive wheels, nickel silver, same size and everything. All I had to do was home build this front axle here with the gear, because so obviously I took apart the geared axle from the brass one and just kind of jerry-rigged my own things. It's a home build axle there, and I resealed it so that it's strong, and I did a hand quartering job on it. Once I feel it's ready, I'll put it back in the engine, test it, and go from there. It'll be pretty freaking cool. I mean, it looks like a true blue SP engine with this brass cow scale headlight I put on it. And it's a really nice engine. It'll be painted. In a few days I'll repaint the entire thing. So yeah, all this stuff in the past few weeks It's been great. Been spending money. I'll move on to some other stuff you guys haven't seen before yet. Mainly hope that I don't forget a whole lot of things. I'm just going to be showing you a lot of engines I've acquired, purchased, traded for in the past 3 months or so. You guys haven't really seen a lot of this stuff unless you've been, like I said, following me on Facebook, Tiger forums, and crap like that. This is a new Athearn RTR Interstate RS3. I mainly love this thing because my favorite color is orange, and silver is a really close second. It'd actually be light blue, but the silver would be kind of a third. And I just thought the color combo was really, really cool. This thing runs fantastic, and it just looks badass. Also, bought this rear grand Athearn RTR GP35. Lighting is terrible here because it's like it's 7 o'clock at night. But yeah, this is also a great engine I bought at Roundhouse. I bought this one off Train World. This I bought for 70 bucks. This I bought for like 80 or 70, something like that. They were both good deals in my book. And then in a trade deal with a buddy of mine, Thomas, I acquired this really nice Roundhouse 060T. The beauty of this thing is, it is honestly the best Roundhouse 060 I've ever seen. And altogether, between the tankers and the tender 060 Roundhouse engines I own, which is about 10, this is hands down the best one I've ever seen. And I mean not only mine and other ones that I've seen from people in person or just videos, because this thing has been totally tricked out. Obviously it's been custom painted and weathered. Also has some nice brass detail. The whistle and the bell there. Drive wheel paint was really nice, and the drive wheels are not the original Roundhouse drive wheels. They seem to be aftermarket silver Mantua drive wheels, because like the 460, Roundhouse drive wheels are very notoriously wobbly and not all that great. I do have another Roundhouse 060 right there which has the brass drive wheels, but it has the idler gear assembly. It actually runs very freaking well. This doesn't have the idler gear assembly. Then someone also took and made directional lighting with dimmers on it as well, meaning you put this up to about 20% on the throttle and the light will be fully bright in either direction that you are choose. So this thing was my favorite 060T for a while until I got the Granite 10 today. So this thing I freaking love. It's also in a trade deal with my buddy Chris. Spectrum 440 in pieces. Haven't decided just what I'm doing with it yet. I'll be making it into some custom thing whenever I please to do that. There's also an H013 Forney I will be eventually building, scratch, most of the frame at least. Got the rest of the components there. Also bought, well, I'm going to try to not go as much all over the place. The Interstate RS3 I bought like about 2 months ago. The GP35 I bought back in August. The trade deal I got with the 060T was about maybe a month ago-ish, more 3 weeks. These Whitcombs I bought about 3 weeks to a month ago. 3 of them. I've always wanted these Penline D2 Whitcombs, and I finally got 3 of them. I've restored mechanically 2 of them, this one and this one. This third one was not actually a parts engine. I just haven't. It just was so disassembled. I didn't really feel like working on another one until my good buddy Jeff Davis said, in exchange for building him and giving him the third one, he will custom paint my 2 Whitcombs in any scheme I want. And I ultimately decided that's a pretty freaking good, because he does insane work. If you have a Facebook, look up Thunder Mountain Locomotive Works. Best painting I've ever seen, to be honest with you. He does. If you want something to look like a prototype, you give him a picture of a prototype engine, and if you give him a model, he'll make it look exactly like it. And he'll do insane custom work too. So this one's going to be in Tiger Stripe rear grand scheme. And this one is going to be in the Black Widow SP scheme. And I know when they come back, I'm actually going to be sending them off this weekend. And I know when they come back, I'm just going to be speechless. And I'll be building this one for him, and he'll have fun keeping it. Here is a Rivarossi JW Bowker. I got this at Pomona, the swap meet there, for I think 15 bucks. It was all complete except for the drive shaft. Running gear was roached. Ended up putting 4 new crank pins on all the drive wheels. I'm sorry, the lighting is absolutely awful. Uh, I've cleaned up all the hardware, made it all shine up nice, repaired the headlight bracket, repaired all the drive wheels and the rods. Motor runs great. I just got to rewire it up, build a drive shaft for it, and she's done. I think that covers this area. The thing I got from Thomas on a trade deal was this really rare Montua Conrail Davenport. It's not just the shell, the frame is right here. It had an MRC decoder in it, and MRC I've never heard a good thing about when it comes to DCC, but you cannot run that type of system on a DC system like mine. So to pull the decoder out, when I feel like it, I'll rewire it all back to DC. It'll be simple. I just haven't felt like doing it right now, but it's a really rare engine, and he, much like the 223, he knew I wanted both of them for a long time. So it worked out pretty damn well. I don't think I've ever shown this Montua Southern Pony, the 040. Buddy of mine, Ray, gave this to me when we were having fun at Roundhouse when we were both showing off our engines. Cut out the coal load, made it like an oil bunker. Haven't finished it. I did mechanically work on it. It runs damn fine. Just haven't had time to finish the rest of it at this point. I think we all remember back the Great Train Expo last year, almost last year. I bought this Spectrum Decapod, but it had a tender, the Rock Island tender with it. It had a decoder in it, couldn't run it on the freaking DC track. So I ended up trading the tender to Chris, a couple other things, mainly the 440 in pieces, whatnot, and hooked up the Vanderbilt tender to it, rewired the Vanderbilt tender, because when I first hooked it up, it could only run forward. Now after fiddling with the wiring, it runs forward and backwards. Lettered it, and numbered it. She's lucky, this is not the best kind of view. She's lucky number 7. And this thing runs great. It's honestly one of my favorite engines. I think I've shown the Royal Blue Taco before. I got that, I think last year actually. Honestly, that might have been earlier this year, but either way, also mechanically restored this. Put all new axles on the tender drive. And yeah. Something that probably most of you are going to like is this Spectrum J, number 610. This I got from Thomas as well, but I originally wasn't planning on keeping this. The plan was, in a huge trade deal between my good buddy Ray and Thomas and me, I sent Thomas my IXC SP210-2 and a Model Power SP280 in exchange for the 223-060, the Davenport, and the J. The plan for the J was to trade that to my buddy Ray to get a Black Widow Trainmaster from Athearn, which is really nice, and a bunch of Montua 040s, like at least 4 or 5, like Roundhouse 060. There was a lot of engines we were going to trade in for that, and my brother decided I should keep this thing, so in place I'm sending Ray another engine. So you'll probably see more of this as time goes on. I'll probably renumber it to something less common, because 610 is common, and that's not really how I like to do things. I'm pretty sure that that is mostly all the engines that you guys have not seen since the last video. I hope that is, at least, because I've been rambling really fast quite a long time, not trying to make it boring. And you can probably tell the scenery looks a lot better, looks, you know, less boring. That's because the past few months or so I've been redoing scenery everywhere. Redid this spot freaking twice. Biggest thing is I added the Trestle waterfall, along with the mountains and whatnot, the hills basically. That's the biggest thing of it. That took 5 weeks to do. It was well worth it, to be honest with you. Now I'm redoing the engine terminal area, regraded the freight yards, added some more grade crossings. Just making it look a hell of a lot better. I'm trying to finish this stuff up before I go back to school on January 12th. Probably won't be able to, but I want to get most of it done. I've got the diesel servicing tracks done. It's just sitting there for the hell of it, the steam locomotive. I'll have fuel and sand racks in between. And this is going to be the water tower track. This will extend outward. You'll have a roundhouse here, another roundhouse here. The Walters machine shop will be the SCVR restoration shop right about there. As far as here goes, Not a freaking clue. That's mainly why I haven't done a whole lot of stuff with this, because I started this back 2-3 weeks ago. I actually hand cut half of the hole for the pit and used a jigsaw to finish the rest of it. And that was in itself very tiring, because from about here on, I ran into a big support beam, which took a lot of effort to cut. Right now I'm working on wiring the bridge and all that for the turntable and getting it all done, because it is quite the project, just as much as this was. For all I know, this could be a really shitty video because of the way I'm talking and how fast it's all kind of being paced. Yeah, so, but this I'll hopefully have done within a month or so. For the most part, I will also be going to the Great Train Expo again in January, which is in about 2 weeks. Got plenty of money saved up for that, about $150, $60. Gonna buy some nice stuff there. And if I have money in March, I'll go to the Bakersfield one. I haven't been to that in 2 years. So yeah. Man, a lot of talking. Trying not to make it boring, I promise. I also built downtown this excursion car. I actually really like this thing. I need to paint the freaking bench, which I actually made from wood. This outer bracing came from an old Bachmann old-time flat car gondola, whatever you want to call it. It's on a Roundhouse Overton coach frame, the shorty ones. Custom sized the braces, custom built the wood bench, and that's all she wrote. I really like that excursion car. It goes pretty well with this other one I made out of a Tyco balance car. I made this about a year ago. And here's a Bachmann excursion car that I custom painted myself. Silver frame and roof and brown body. I really like the way that came out personally. Let it. And my plan is to move pretty much all these engines to the new site. So far I've only got 3 tracks established. I'll have 6 with the roundhouses, 7th with the restoration shop, and probably 8 or 9 more in the random areas. So yeah, giving you some overviews of the scenery, the new stuff at least. Excuse me, just had a nice dinner, Christmas dinner. I was originally going to wait till after I finished the entire layout to do an update video, but I was like, you know what, I love Christmas time, I want there to be another Christmas video. And I will definitely show you guys how this beauty runs. This is obviously the main favorite piece of many. Did this all myself. And it was a lot of fun. A lot of work, a lot of money actually, but it was actually a lot of fun. It'll provide for some great angles, and it has, to people who have already sent them stuff to. Another major project you can see here is the addition of a 3rd rail. This is for my HO3 stuff, which I really got heavily into this year. Most of my stuff is roundhouse or scratch built by me. My whole main line will eventually be all dual gauged. Here's one of my roundhouse 280 HO3 locomotives. Number 4. Does run very nice after a lot of mechanical work to it. Here's a flat car scratch built. Need to repaint and add couplers to it. Here's a log car I made from scratch for the HO3. Trucks are not scratch. I have dual gauge this siding, and this is going to be where the HO3 is going to be housed mainly. The only big issue is going to be the turnouts, which I have plenty of photo references to. I know how to do it, I just have to start doing it and stop being lazy. On the main line, I only have this main station stretch of 3 feet, dual gauge. At one point, before I did the trestle project, when this thing was all one just flat board, I had up to right where the trestle is, all the way out to here. I didn't finish this portion yet, but I had a lot of the dual gauge about 30 5% done. And well, my brother gave me the idea for this. He just had to, because I had to rip up all my hard dual gauge work, but was able to leave this portion in, and I'm ready to do more, just start it up again. Just probably after this mess, acquiring more H13 stuff as I find it. But yeah, that'll actually be pretty freaking cool to see, if you ask my opinion. Dual gauge railroading, HO and HO3. Because HO3 is, if the way you look at it, HO is standard gauge, HO3 would be 3 feet narrow gauge, if you were to put it into realistic terms. As a side note, this was not the only Christmas gift I got. I also got speakers for my Bug. I drive a 1972 VW Bug that I restored with my dad. New speakers for that. Got shades, some new shades. Also got a lot of money from neighbors and other family and whatnot. And a train calendar. This is the only train thing that my parents actually got me. I've been buying a lot of stuff for myself because gotta enjoy my time off. Not that I really say screw the rest of the stuff that you guys haven't seen before, but I really just feel like showing you guys how Granite Rock 10 runs. So that's what I'm gonna do. Also, it has a freaking moving bell. I love that. Just can't get enough of this engine, I tell you. Let's see. I am a shotgun rider for the San Jacinto line. The desert is my brother. My skin is cracked and dry. I was riding on a full course and everything was fine till we took a shorter road to save some time. The bandits only fired once, they shot me in the chest. They may have wounded me, but they'll never get the best of better men. 'Cause I'll ride again. I am a river gambler, I make a living dealing cards. My clothes are smooth and honest, my heart is cold and hard. I was shuffling for some Delta boys on a boat for New Orleans. I was the greatest shark they'd ever seen. But the captain bumped a sandbar and an ace fell from my sleeve. Hope you guys got some good angles of that. Just downright amazing performance. Smooth, slow. Its pulling power is pretty but honestly it is just my favorite 06OT hands down. It pulls pretty decently, but not compared to my 223, the Roundhouse 06OT. I'll show you how that thing runs, because that thing is also a really nice runner. This is the Granite Rock 10. See the NW223, Roundhouse 06OT with the nickel silver drive wheels, which are Mantua, as well as the directional lighting, which also has dimmers. See, not even, can't even see, I'm sorry. About 20% of the throttle, backlight is on, all the way. Get it warmed up a little bit. I mean, this thing's performance just blows any other Roundhouse I've ever seen out of the water. Smooth, slow, not rattling, wobbling, or thumping hard. Just absolutely silky smooth. This thing can crawl. It is a very close second favorite 06OT to the Granite Rock 10. Well, I figure, you know what, it is Christmas, it is my happiest day of the year, even more than my birthday. I don't even care really much about that day. Christmas time, Christmas day, I just Can't explain how much I love it, so I'm just going to run a few engines with some trains, give you guys some nice operations videos, which I really haven't done in a long time. I do hope that the SCVR I could get it reopened and all that by January. I just got to get this shit done. A lot of new engines, a lot of new rolling stock, lots of fun this upcoming year. Like I said, it's the final year of the SCVR 2015. You got to make the most of it. That's why I've been redoing everything scenery-wise, making it look a hell of a lot better, making my operations better, just adding more fun elements to it. One thing I forgot to mention was that I added these freight platforms around the time of August for the freight depot. Extend all the way out there. There's a new siding there. Yeah, barn crossing there. So yeah, the next video you'll see from me is probably the Great Train Expo in Anaheim on January 10th. Be like usual, it'll be a two-part video. Part one will be of all the displays and the trains out there, some of the stuff for sale. Then part two will be about the stuff I bought. So that'll likely be the next video. As far as videos after that go, it'll probably be another layout update regarding the finished terminal roundness area and tracks. Maybe more engine acquisitions and whatnot. But yeah, that is my gigantic update. I condensed it, I think, pretty good. I've rambled on enough, and hopefully you guys got to see all my new stuff. And trying to make more videos this time, and wasn't having a lot of energy or time this year. Hopefully this year will be different. There should be a lot more operations, a lot more fun, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Feel free to comment any questions or whatnot. It's good to hear from you guys. Enough rambling. On with the trains. Final goodbye to 2014. Hope you guys all have a happy new year and a very, very Merry Christmas today. It's sad that it's 365 days is the next one. I look forward to it though every year. Sayonara.
Well, it's Christmas time, pretty baby, and the snow is falling on the ground. Well, it's Christmas time, pretty baby, and the snow is falling down. Well, you be a real good little girl. Santa Claus is back in town. Got no sleigh with reindeer, no sack on my back. You gonna see me coming in a big black Cadillac. Oh, the Christmas time, pretty baby, and the snow is falling on the ground. Well, you be a real good little baby. Santa Claus is back in town. Hang up your pretty stockings, turn off the light. Santa Claus is coming down the old chimney tonight. Oh, Christmas time, baby, and the snow is falling on the ground. Well, you be a real good little baby. Santa Claus is back in town.
Old Saint Nick and Mrs. Claus decided just this year there won't be any Christmas the feeling's just not here. Some kids get more than they need, some are spoiled rotten, and when it comes to Christmas time, too many are forgotten. It will feel like Christmas to people everywhere. It will feel like Christmas when we all learn to share. So Santa said to Mrs. Claus, something's way off track. I can't get into Christmas until the spirit's back. If there was just a way we could get boys and girls to see Christmas is what's in our heart and not what's 'neath the tree. It will feel like Christmas to people everywhere. It will feel like Christmas when we all learn to share. Then all the kids said, Santa Claus, we have too many toys. We'd like to share our blessings with other girls and boys. Now it feels like Christmas to people everywhere, and it feels like Christmas because we learn to share. It will feel like Christmas to people everywhere. It will feel like Christmas when we all learn to share. And will it feel like Christmas when we've new things to wear? No, it will feel like Christmas when we all learn to share. And will it feel like Christmas when Dr. Elmo's on the air? Oh yes, it will feel like Christmas, but we still should learn to share.